I'm Dino Bidala, and welcome to tonight's Dino Bidala Show on SiriusXM Channel 127, Wednesday, September 29th. We're watching something go on right in front of our eyes, which you could dismiss as just politics, but in the post-January 6th America, you have to look at things and wonder what the GOP is really after. You know, what I'm about to say, pre-January 6th, I would have been rightfully dismissed as conspiratorial, and I'm not conspiratorial at all. After January 6th, it's plausible. And what we saw yesterday and much more today, Trump loyalists in Congress smearing the generals, General Milley and Secretary of Defense Austin, attacking them. You have Matt Gaetz, you have Ronnie Jackson, Trump's former personal physician, who is now a member of Congress, and others, but those two especially, doing the bidding of Donald Trump. And what they're doing is clearly to help Donald Trump. The question is why? Their attack, the attacks by Matt Gaetz predate Afghanistan. In May and June, he was attacking General Milley, and so was Trump as being woke. This idea they were woke and they want critical race theory and all this stuff. The attack was going on then. At the time, I thought maybe it was just politics. Now it seems to me much more potentially that they're doing this because they want to politicize our military. They want our military to be political in view so that Trump supporters will view it as not being the United States of America's military, but somehow the Democrats' military leaders. And potentially, and this is really concerning if it's true, people in the military might not look at these generals and Secretary of Defense with any respect and say, well, they're just Democratic operatives. That's what they're doing. They hate Trump, and I love Trump. So this is ridiculous. I'm not going to listen to them. And no matter what, their goal is to create dissension in the military. There's no doubt. It's to hurt the chain of command, the chain of communications. That's clearly the goal of Matt Gaetz, Ronnie Jackson, other Republicans like Josh Hawley and Tom Cotton. The question is why? Why is that going on? And is it just politics? Score points? Is it just to cause dissension, or is it more sinister than that? Is it to lay the groundwork for a politicized military so that if there is Trump coup 2.0, and there will be if he's not prosecuted, there definitely will be another coup, that in that case, maybe parts of the military actually join in overturning whatever election they're trying to overturn. Without the military, they can't have an effective coup. Not in the United States of America. It just can't happen. Even with the military, I'm not sure, because we're such a big country, 330 million people. The military got involved, perhaps they could have an effective coup, but you probably have different sections of the military loyal to Trump and others loyal to the United States of America. And I really hope it's a small number, but even if it's a small number, you could have civilian loss of life, which is heartbreaking, and a threat to our democracy like we've never seen. Keep in mind, the most recent military coup that was effective was in Myanmar, and the military did get involved. And why did the military get involved? They claimed there was election fraud, even though international observers said there was none. Well, they didn't like the election results. They overturned it, and they run the country now. So it's not like these are just things that happened in 1930s Germany or 1970s South America. They're happening now. There was an attempted coup just last week in Sudan. It failed. The point is, the people who want power at all costs, like our GOP, they can justify it, even in their mind believing they are being patriots, because they'll say there was election fraud by Democrats, or we have to protect our nation from Marxism. And they really, in their mind, think they're being patriots when they're being traitors. And that's what the GOP is doing right now. Now, I wish it was different, but we saw today, if you watch the hearing, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who praised the generals. That's the way the Republican Party used to be. They would criticize certain decisions, but they would praise the generals as patriots. In this case, Matt Gaetz and Ronnie Jackson, I've never heard more sleazy smear tactics directed at the general and the Secretary of Defense, who was a former general, in my life. It was personal attacks like I've never heard. And the goal was to make them political figures. So understand that pre-January 6th, the idea there's going to be a coup and parts of the military might join in that coup, ridiculous. After January 6th, you have to be aware it could happen here. For those who think it can't happen here, I hate to tell you, it's happening already. What we're seeing with the GOP is a fascist movement. I mean that academically. So we'll talk about that on the show. I look forward to brighter days on the show when we can have more fun, which I thought we were going to have. But here we are. It is the calling of this generation, and not a generation defined by age, but by values, who believe in this republic, that together we're building a coalition. It's not about ideology. It's not right versus left anymore. It is pro-democracy versus those who are anti-democracy on the Trump wing, whoever they might be. We'll cover that a lot more in my show tonight. My show's live 6 to 9 p.m. on SiriusXM. If you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, it's simple. Go to the website. There are free trials. Check it out. Join. Call us. Be a part of our family. We got a lot of work. We used to end every broadcast here, end my show by saying, if you want progress, stay active. I've changed it now. If you want democracy, stay active. We need you. Thanks for tuning in.